What is going on, everybody? Welcome, J.R. Fisher here. It is Wednesday, and it is what is it today? What is today's date? Does it matter? Yeah, sure it matters. It's the 17th of August, and today we're going to talk about SEO. Are you possibly wasting your time? Are you doing a lot of work for nothing? Well, in this video, I'm going to answer that question, and I'm going to show you what you should be doing if you want to get a whole lot of traffic to your site. Before we get started, do me a favor and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down there. Turn it from red to gray, and don't forget to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live or if I upload a video. And I want you guys to really make good use of this chat section here. And when I say good use, I mean anything you want to say is fine. You can ask me questions. You can tell me your name, you can tell me what the weather is, whatever, but make sure you're involved. That involvement, guys, is going to matter to you more than me, because when you get involved, you get deeper entrenched in this and you're going to learn more. You're going to want to do more. Get involved, guys. Say something in that chat section. If you're not watching this live, you can put it in the comment section below. That's fine too. And tell me, have you been doing SEO? What results have you been getting from it? I'm going to go over all this today, and I think you're going to have a pretty clear view of what's going on. And I get this question every now and then. It's like, is SEO dead? Okay. Is it dead? Is it something you can't do? Are there too many sites out there? There's no way to rank, blah, 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 blah. I hear this stuff all the time. So I wanted to kind of do this video and clarify this. Let me click in here. I want to get my screen up. There we go. And every year there's some new technology, that says it's pounding the nail in to SEO, and SEO is going to be gone and all that stuff. I hear it every year. But it's not like they're going to replace the automobile or the horse and buggy with an automobile. Okay. It is still there. It's still necessary. If you listen to rumors, okay, this time it's around search engine optimizations. It said it was good for 1997 to 2022, and now it's gone. But there's a small problem. SEO is still alive. It's still kicking. It's just as relevant today as it's ever been. If anything, it may be a whole lot more important. Today, about 53% of all website traffic is actually coming from those organic searches, which means SEO. As a matter of fact, the first results in Google averages 26.9% of click-throughs on mobile devices and 32% on desktops. So if you're not involved in this, you're going to be missing the boat. But the important thing is, how do we do this? What we're trying to do is help Google determine which results are going to be at the top of the search engine result pages. Okay. So there's a lot of statistics out there, and I could bore you with all these statistics. I don't want to do that. Okay. I just want to get to the point here. But thanks to the updates to Google search algorithms, the entire SEO field is undergoing a rapid revolution. Okay. You can't cheat it anymore. It used to be people would try to cheat it. Let me get a sip here real quick. And do keyword stuffing and all that, but that's just not what you should do. And I want to go through all the different versions that Google's had also, so you can understand all this. But completely ignoring these small changes in the search engine's algorithm has undergone, I've seen several major updates in the past decade, some more important than others. I remember probably about 10 years ago, I was in San Diego at a conference, and my search results went from like whatever it was down to like 1/100th of what it was. Scared the crap out of me. And I think that was probably around 2011. That's when Panda was out. Panda was really focused on quality and user experience. It was designed to eliminate the black hat SEO tactics and web spam. Okay, so that's what was there. And then next, in 2013, they came out with Hummingbird. Now, Hummingbird was really interesting, okay? Because what it did is it made the search engine's core algorithm faster and more precise in anticipation of growing more mobile search, because they knew in 2013 it was going in that direction. So then after that, in 2015, they came out with something called Rank Brain. Now, these are all softwares, I don't know if you would call them softwares, AIs that Google has come out with. So, excuse me, in 2015, this update was announced in October of that year, and it was integrating, get this, artificial intelligence with all queries. Okay, RankBrain actually uses machine learning, which we all know about now, to provide better answers to ambiguous inquiries. So, people were kind of being a little ambiguous about it and they wouldn't be able to answer it. So then in 2018, they came out with a new one and they called it BERT, just BERT. Okay. It was initially released in, I think it was the early part of November of 2018. But then what they did is they updated it in 2019, December, just a little over a year later. This also updated the Google Understanding Natural Language better. And let me get over here to this other screen, guys. I don't want to miss any of your comments. If you're on Facebook, let's see here. My comments don't always come through on the screen. So let me get over here and see what's going on. Okay, I'm all clear there. So that was BERT. Now, this past year, I mean, it hadn't even been a year yet. They put into place a new one in December of 2021 called Vicinity. Now, Vicinity is Google's biggest local search update in 5 years. I mean, it's huge. They are using proximity targeting as a ranking factor. So local businesses are weighted more heavily in query results. Now, for a business like mine, where we sell survival food nationwide, that doesn't help me out. That only helps me out is if somebody is in, the Texas area around Austin, then we're going to pop up. But it doesn't help me overall. So, you may be running into problems like that where the search engines think you're going to be local, which I don't understand, because the whole thing with the internet is that we buy online. We buy from a place that we're not at, and yet they're giving more weight to local businesses. So if you're a local business, you're selling locally, it will help you out. It actually hurts us, and it's not good for us, okay? So each of these updates really kind of change the way Google works, so that, let me see here. Okay, I got a little comment off to the side. So that each is required SEO professionals to rethink their approach and tweak their strategy to ensure they get the results needed. But the need for their services actually has remained. Now that it's been established that SEO is not dead, it raises the question, where did all this death talk come from? Okay, why is everybody saying that SEO is going to disappear when in fact we need that? Okay, that's where all the business is coming from, is from the search results. But it's coming from somewhere. Most of it is based on unfounded conjecture and wild speculation. Okay, people are just speculating that it's going to go away. But the truth is, SEO is a state of transition, which really is even scarier, because if you know how to do it and you're getting good search results, they change it on you and you got to figure out what's going on. So that transition is driven by 3 things. Okay, so we want to think about this. Number 1, artificial intelligence and machine learning, particularly Google RankBrain. Okay, you got to understand Google RankBrain. Shrinking organic space or search engine result pages. Okay, so there's always going to be less and less space because there's more and more websites, and there's only one page that comes up. And then the last thing is digital personal assistance and voice search. Okay, because that's what it's going towards now. So we've got to be there for it. So let's talk about the rise of machine learning. You probably have recognized, let's see what's Paul got to say. Let me pop Paul in there. Let me get over to my other screen, Paul. Give me 1 second, buddy. All right, and there we are. Okay, so what has he got to say? What do you follow for SEO updates? Actually, I have SEO people, and they stay on top of that. SEO is a very time-consuming thing, and I'm not saying you can't do it on your own. You certainly can, but it takes a lot of time, and it's very monotonous. But it's very necessary. So I actually have people that work on it for me, Paul. Again, as you pointed out, the need to build a viable email list is in case of these changes. Yeah, of course. An email list is something that all of us have to have. I mean, it's supplemental to everything else we do. Here's the thing. I'll hear people say things like, oh, SEO, I know that was big in like 2010. It's not so big now. I've heard that before. But the thing is, with everything online, it grows, it evolves. So whatever you had to know in 2010, you got to know now plus some, so that's really what's going on here. It's not a matter of, things go away, because I don't think any of it really goes away. I think it's all there, but I think it evolves. And if you don't evolve with it, you're going to have a problem. Now, you've probably recognized already that this artificial intelligence really has changed the world. It really has, in so many different areas. It's doing so many things. It's a really exciting technology, but it's starting to appear everywhere, from voice assistants to predictive healthcare. We got self-driving cars now. All these things are going on. And that's something that is Seo the same in all countries. Absolutely. Yeah, it's the software RankBrain that Google uses is of course, it's in different languages, but it's the same everywhere you go. It's still got to be done. This new technology, though, AI, has really started to appear everywhere. So it's been a trending topic in SEO, for quite some time now. A lot of people are talking about it, but unfortunately, most of what's out there is kind of incomplete information. And it's like from, reading patents, analyzing search engine behavior, and mostly just flat out guessing. A lot of people just don't know. Part of the reason it's so difficult to get a handle on what's happening in AI concerning search engine is its constant evolution. Okay. As soon as you learn something, they've switched it up again. But when you examine identifiable trends, machine learning and natural language, machine learning is just what it sounds like, machines that are learning. Okay. But there's really more to it than that. It's more of a sophisticated approach. And it can be described really as a method of data analysis that automates analytical model building. Now, let me say that again. I know that's kind of complicated. It can be described as a method of data analysis. So looking at numbers that automates analytical model building. Okay. So a branch of artificial intelligence based on the idea that systems can learn from data. It's kind of crazy, right? It can identify patterns and make decisions with minimal human intervention. So it can change what it is. It can change the software that it is. Let me get another sip here real quick. So it's really something that you got to dig into. For SEO purposes, this means gathering and analyzing information on content. So you're going to have to look at your Google Analytics. What's working for you? What's not working for you? It's going to look at user behaviors, citations, patterns, and then using that information, it's going to create ranking factors that are most likely to answer the queries accurately. So that what it's trying to do is give everybody a good user experience. I think we talk down all these things that Google does, and Google hates me and they don't want to share my website. It has nothing to do with any of that. Google is trying to give the user the best experience. I know when I go to Google now, I get a whole lot better results now than I did 10 years ago. If I search, I don't know, best ways to build a desk, it's going to have some drop downs, some other ways of asking that question. It may be an office desk. It may be a modern desk, whatever. So it's actually thinking, it's going, what else could this person possibly want? One of the most important factors in learning uses when determining how websites are ranked is our other trend, which is natural language. Okay, natural language, which is how we talk. From the earliest days, computers have used unique languages. And because it was very unlike the language humans don't use, there was always this disconnect between the user intent and what search engines deliver. So they're trying to bridge that gap right now. However, as technology has grown increasingly more advanced, Google has made great strides in this field. Okay, the machines are starting to understand our language more, and they're going, oh, this is what they wanted. The most important one for SEO professionals really is RankBrain, the last one that's out right now. Google's machine learning system built upon a rewrite of Google's core algorithm that I've talked about it before, which was Hummingbird. Okay, so they've kind of rewritten that particular thing. It's been about, I guess, 10 years, and Google had the foresight to really recognize that mobile devices were the future. So they anticipated this. And they thought about, well, what's it going to mean for search? Hummingbird focused on understanding conversational speech. which is okay. RankBrain builds on this, moving Google away from search engine that follow the links between concepts to seeing the concepts they represent. And I don't want that to sound too complicated, but it is what it is, right? Let me get over here to my other screen. There we go. Pop Paul up there. Is set different? I think you mean SEO. So set, is SEO different for different products? Example, physical products versus informational products that might be evergreen. I'm going to give you an honest answer on that. I don't know. I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so. And, you know, they keep all this close to their chest because they don't want people to know exactly how they're ranking things, because then people would have an advantage. So they don't do that. I will say this, as far as whether your product is physical or digital, videos will always rank higher because they're pushing towards videos now. And of course, Google owns YouTube. So you're going to see the YouTube videos come up long before you see any blogs come up or anything like that. But what it did is it really kind of I would say moved the search engine away from matching keywords in a query to more precisely identifying user intent and delivering results that more accurately match the search. So a second ago, I said how to build a desk. So the AI is going to say, do you mean an office desk? Do you mean a modern desk? Do you mean a home desk? So it's really trying to drill down and say, what do you really want? Okay. Because a desk is, it can really change what a desk is. Do you want a standing desk? Do you want a sitting desk? So it's trying to figure that out. So this really means identifying which words were important to the search and disregarding those that were not. Now we have what's called a non-search terms, which if you go to my site, you can download a paper on that. And I talk about that because they do have non-search terms. Let's see here. Let me get Paul's comment up here. There we go. All right, let's see here. What's he got to say? How much does user interactions with a seller affect the SEO? Does more comments mean better SEO? That's a very complicated question. If you have a website and let's say you've got a blog on there, okay, and you've got an SEO, whatever, and some people come to that blog, but nobody ever comments on it. Overall, they're going to say your site is not getting a lot of interaction. Okay. If you had tons of comments on that particular blog, you're going to get SEO in two ways. First off, Google's going to see a lot of people are interacting with your content. So your site itself will end up ranking a little bit higher for that reason. In addition to that, when people type in words on your blog, they're actually adding to your SEO. So let's say you did a blog on how to make a desk. And you were into modern desk and people were saying, well, hey, here's a picture of a modern desk I made. So now you got modern desk up there again, and you may have had it in your SEO also. So as more and more people do that, they're actually adding to the SEO of that particular site. Now that does not affect search results. Okay. It's not going to affect search results because your SEO is comprised of a title and your description. That's what comes up on SEO, title and description. And then, of course, it looks at keywords on your page. It looks at the header on your page and all these other things, but it won't affect that part. So it's kind of a complicated answer, and it's not always easy to figure out. I would say the biggest impact that RankBrain and machine learning has been on long tail keywords. Okay, if you search long tail keywords, which a lot of people don't, but when they do, Google really wants to get you to the right place. In the past, websites would often jam in specific words, but rarely search for keywords into their content, okay? This allowed them to show up in queries for topics, but it wasn't what people really wanted. RankBrain changed how Google handled those, which meant particularly focusing on long tail keywords was no longer a good strategy. It also helped eliminate content from spammers who sought rankings from these types of tricks, I guess. So, I guess it could be like, Honey, I Shrunk the organic search space. Search engines are a big business, okay? No one can deny that. I mean, that's just a fact. That's the way it is. Since, probably 2016, Google has gone in the direction of slowly encroaching on organic search results in favor of paid advertising, which is just the opposite of what Facebook's done. There's been a sponsored ads that were removed from the sidebar and put on the top of the search engine page results. As a result, organic results are pushed further down the pages or below the fold, because instead of putting them off to the right, they're putting them on the top now, pushes everything down. So from Google's business perspective, this makes sense. The internet has become a huge part of global economy, which means an ever increasing number of companies are willing to pay for ad placement. So if you're not going to do that, it's really important that you work on your SEO. That is of paramount importance, because if you're not doing that, you're not even going to show up. As a result of this seemingly deprioritizing, organic SEO professionals are forced to develop innovative new strategy for not showing up on the first page, but also competing with paid ads. So you're really going to have to do a combination of these things now. Changes to local searches have also affected the SERPs. I'm going to say SERPs. What I'm saying is search engine result pages. In never-ending quest to provide more relevant results to users, Google actually added a local pack to search results, which I talked about in the beginning of this video. It's going to hurt people like me. It's going to help local businesses. This group of nearly it's a group of 3 nearly business appears to satisfy the inquiry. They're listed at the top of the first page results, along with a map showing their location. So that's what you're going to get, even though it's not going to help somebody like me. This was good news for local businesses, but like I say, it was not great for national brands. For SEO professionals, however, it threw a whole wrinkle into their work, because, how do you rank at the top when they're giving all of the space to local businesses and there's less space there? In addition to creating competition for local search results, this also opened the door for, you guessed it, local paid ads. So these are not only the things pushing organic results down the page. Depending on what the search is, your link may also have to compete with different things like shopping ads. It's going to have to compete with news stories. It's going to have to compete with videos or image carousels, which I just told you about. It's going to have to compete with automated extensions. It's going to have to compete with featured snippets. All of these things are taking away your space, guys. So you've got to get more and more involved in it. You've got to learn more and more in this. And like I said, guys, keep your comments coming there in that chat section. If you're not watching this live, put it in the comment section below. Google has begun directly answering questions and suggested related questions and answers. And that's what I talked about in the beginning. It has all these questions that are there that I can just click on, which is easier for me. As a user, as a business, it makes it a whole lot tougher. This has also given birth to the phenomenon known as zero-click searches, which are searches that end on the SERP without a click through to another site. That's not good for us, okay? In 2020, nearly 65% of all searches received no clicks because the information was right in front of the people. They got it from Google. They didn't have to click to go anywhere. So it's really troubling for anybody who makes their living by generating those. With this in mind, as organic results sink lower and lower, it's easier to see why some SEO professionals are becoming frustrated. But savvy web marketers see this as more than challenges. They see it actually as opportunities, and that's what you got to do. You got to see challenges as opportunities. For example, you can't get your link to the top of a SERP anymore, but you can use structured data markup to grab a featured snippet. While this isn't technically an SEO tactic, it is a way to generate clicks and traffic, which is really the ultimate goal, right? You want more traffic, you want more clicks. The other thing you can do is you can use your voice. Not long ago, taking a note or making out your grocery list meant locating some paper, writing on it, like, with a pen and all that. That's caveman stuff, right? But nowadays, that's gone, right? At least on their way out. It's been replaced by technology. And I got to tell you, when I'm texting people, I almost exclusively do talk to text. I rarely type in a text. And if it starts to get too long, I just call them, okay? But whether you're using Siri to play your favorite song or asking Cortana how much the moon weighs, or having Alexa check the price of an Apple stock, much of the internet is now available just with your voice. You don't really have to type in anything. Now get this statistic, 4.2 million digital personal assistant devices in 2020 were being used worldwide. So let me say that again. 4.2 million digital personal assistant devices in 2020 were being used worldwide. And that's a number that's expected to double by 2024 as more and more people adapt to Amazon Echo or Sonos or One or Google. We use the Google Nest Hub, the Home Hub, whatever it is. Users don't even have their own one of these smart speakers to use the power of voice search. Matter of fact, 90% of iPhone owners use Siri and 75% of smartphone owners use Google Assistant. So they're used a lot, and I use Siri for simple things like, I'm cooking a steak and I want it to cook for 3 minutes on one side. I say, hey, Siri, set a timer for 3 minutes. Wait, okay, it didn't do it. I thought it was going to do it. Okay, I got to be right up to it. So think about these statistics. According to Think with Google, 20% of the global population uses voice search on mobile devices. 27%, that's a pretty high number. Voice shopping grew by 213% from 2018 to 2021. And in 2021, 127 million Americans used in-car voice assistants. We have a friend who has this Tesla, and she loves to, touch the screen or hit a button or whatever it is and tell the car, well, take me to, Paul's restaurant in downtown Austin or whatever it is. And that the car will just start mapping it out. She loves doing that. So it really depends on who you are. If you work in SEO because you're reading more information about how to do this, or you're watching this video because you want to learn how to do this, this creates some problems. Okay. It makes it more difficult for you. After all, how do you generate clicks to your website if no clicks are involved? That's a problem. The answer is really obvious. You need to optimize for voice search. Now, voice controlled devices don't operate like a manual search. So your SEO content needs to consider this. The best way to do this, okay, is to get on top of what's going on, to learn this stuff, okay? You've got to really be vigilant, okay? And you've got to monitor this stuff. You've noticed this theme running through the entire place. It's evolution, survival of the fittest, guys. That's what's going on here. So if you don't know what to do, you're going to be left behind. So let's talk about some of the things you can do. Google will never be satisfied with the algorithm. That's just the way it is. It's always evolving, and it's always got room to grow and improve and the ability to be more precise about the answers. So it's always going to change. As far as being the death of SEO, it's not going to happen. This ensures its importance moving forward. Machine learning, especially regarding natural language, allows Google to better understand the intent behind the search. As a result, present more relevant opinions and options. Your content should focus on answering queries instead of just including keywords. So questions on your website with answers are very helpful. Long tail keywords are important for answering specific questions, particularly in featured answer sections, but focusing solely on them is an outdated and ineffective strategy. You can't just do that. Like I said, you got to know what you knew years ago plus some. That's how all this works. I just noticed, I'm sorry, the picture of my wall is crooked. I just noticed that. Organic search results lose real estate to paid ads and other features. That's a fact. However, this presents opportunities for clever SEO professionals to, shoot to the top using things like local search. Okay, if that's the thing that you have. Zero-click searches constitute nearly 2/3 of all searches. That's kind of scary if you're trying to get clicks and traffic. And it hurts your SEO numbers, but it allows you to claim a spot of prominence as a featured snippet using structured data. So you can do that. The use of voice search and personal digital assistants is on the rise. This calls for rethinking SEO strategies and optimizing content to be found and used by voice search. So you've probably noticed a theme running through this entire video today. It's evolution, survival of the fittest. That is what it is. Now, to make sure you don't lose out on this important traffic, you need to constantly monitor the SEO situation and adapt to the changes. Look at the pages that are getting, traffic. Look at the ones that aren't. What is different in those pages? Only you know that with your site in Google Analytics. Only you're going to know that. Your strategy needs to be more sophisticated. As new opportunities present themselves, you need to be ready. You got to pivot. You got to be able to change. That's so very important in life. I see the people who get left behind is because they did one thing and they never changed. They may have been successful at it, but the thing is, everything changes. Everything changes. Okay. You've got to remember that your content is still the most important thing that you've got out there, whether it's a description of a product, whether it's a blog, whether it's a video, whatever. This video I'm doing right now is different than the video I would have taught you 10 years ago. Okay. I wasn't around 10 years ago on YouTube, but my businesses were. But even 5 years, okay. I did different kinds of videos then. I had to evolve. If you can best answer a question, your site is going to get more traffic that you seek. If you can't, you need to rework it until it does. Just remember, like a rock and roll, SEO will never die. Okay, like rock and roll, SEO will never die. Of course, some people argue that rock and roll is dead, but it's not. I'm telling you, it's not. Now I've got a couple seconds. If you guys want to put any more questions in there, if you've got anything you want to ask me, is this, is your SEO working now? What are you doing for your SEO? Let me know that in the chat section. If you're not watching this live, put it in the comment section. I know this was not necessarily an upbeat training today. Now I'm trying to give you some insight as to what you can do, but I'm telling you, it's hard nowadays. It's difficult. And if it was easy, everybody would do it. I was sitting in a coffee shop the other day, and there was a guy in there, and he thought he was a digital marketer. He's not. He was trying to get traffic for different gyms in town and, get them traffic. And I've talked to him a couple of times, and I said, I'm involved in it, but he never really asked me any specific questions. And the other day he sat down, he asked me some specific questions, and I showed him our results. I showed him that you could search Survivalcave food, you'll get 15 million results for it. And he's like, oh my God, that's really great. He says, is it easy to do? And I just looked at him. I said, if it was easy to do, everybody would do it. And he looked very disappointed. He was like, oh man, I want something easy to do. It's not going to be easy. Life's not easy. But as soon as you realize that, as soon as you adopt that, as soon as you say, I'm willing to work hard, I'm willing to do what it takes, you're going to get a whole lot better results. Okay. But if you're looking for easy, if you're looking for easy ways to make money, easy ways to get traffic, easy ways to get in shape, it doesn't exist. You got to stop looking. You're wasting your time. It's the difficult things that are going to get you good results. It's the difficult SEO. It's the difficult days at the gym. It's all the difficult things that are going to do you well. Not easy. Easy is not a thing, guys. Quit looking for easy. Hey, I really appreciate you guys being here today. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I haven't asked you to give me a thumbs up, which I'm missing some thumbs up there. So please give me a thumbs up. Click that thumbs up there. As many of those as I can get. Only click it one time, because when you click it again, the thumbs up goes away. So click that thumbs up if you would. I would really appreciate it. If you're not watching this live, it means just as much to me. That thumbs up. Subscribing to the channel means a whole lot to me. Ringing the bell, turning on all bell notifications. And I want to add something else. I was watching Graham Stephan the other day, and I occasionally watch him, but not that much, but occasionally. But he did say something interesting. He was making about $2 million a year last year on his ad revenues, ad revenue share, and that's phenomenal. That's great. But he said in 1 year it went down to 1 million. Now, he had put a whole lot more work into it. He had put a whole lot more videos up there. He had done a whole lot more, but his ad revenue went down. And what I want to tell you about that is, guys, it's not a straight line up. It's just never a straight line up. If you look at any of the stocks out there, they're not a straight line up. I mean, they're going to have dips and dives and spikes and all these things. And that's kind of how it is online. My income is never the same each day. I could give you I couldn't even give you an average. I couldn't, because like some days we do 6 figures plus, some days we just do a few $1,000s. And some of you may say, well, a few $1,000s a day would be great. It's not once you start getting in higher numbers, then you're like, oh my God, what's happening to my business? It's dying. So it's very emotional to have an online business, because it's never a straight line up, guys. You have to realize that it's going to be up and down and up and down. And no matter what it's doing, you need to work on it. When it's way up, you need to capitalize on it. You need to work hard. You need to try to get more business in. When it's down, you especially need to work hard to get it back to where it was before. So it's never ending battle. And a lot of people say, well, I just want to work the 4 hours a week and make $1 million a year. I don't think you can do it. I think even if you've reached that to where you're making $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, whatever it is, if you're making that money, things can go wrong. Things can change. Your SEO can change, right? The mood of the market can change. You've got to stay on top of things all the time. It's like a relationship, okay? You know, a husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is, you've got to stay on top of it. You got to adapt to what's going on, what problems are arising, what things are changing in that person's life that you need to, you know, adapt to. You got to do it. It's the way business is. Okay, I think I've passed my time. I'm at 10:35 now. I will be live again on Friday, guys. I have to record videos tomorrow. We have another repairman coming. Yeah, we've been in this house for over a year, and we're still dealing with warranty claims. Whew, I got to tell you, not fun. But overall, it's a beautiful house. We like our house. But man, talk about a lot of warranty stuff. I think we've had close to 50. The guy across the street from us has had over 100 warranty claims on his house. And I don't know, maybe it's the quality of the worker you're getting now, whatever, but a lot of them are just so irritating. They really are. No major problems with the structure of the house or anything, just small things, but man, it's eating up a lot of our time. Wow. New house complaining about warranty claims. You guys, I really appreciate being here. I appreciate all the input. Don't forget to subscribe. Like I said, don't forget to ring the bell, turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live or if I upload a video. You guys are awesome. Love each and every one of you. I'll see you on Friday. Have a great day. I got to find the button to click to get off. Wait a second.